Welcome to Bootstrap training program. Great to see that you are interested in learning Bootstrap. Bootstrap allows you to create modern and stunning user experience with latest web standards. Bootstrap is the world's most user front-end framework to add sleek professional and attractive user interface for your application. So in this course, we are going to create a landing page using Bootstrap. So are there any course requirements or prerequisites? Yes. To work on this project, you must have the following skill sets. You should be comfortable with HTML. You should be familiar with basic CSS. And you should have a basic knowledge of JavaScript. The course objective. Participant will be able to implement advanced bootstrap concept in project at college level or at industry level. What you will learn in this course. You will able to create a landing page using Bootstrap 4. You will able to learn Bootstrap grid system. We will also work on Font Awesome for your project. So you can use Font Awesome for any project. We will be using typography and utilities to create the landing page. So you will learn that as well. Who are the targeted students? Students with no Bootstrap or web development experience, front-end developers, anyone who wants to learn Bootstrap 4. So by the end of this course, you will have the following skill sets. You will be having hand-on regarding practical and real-life scenarios of creating landing page using Bootstrap 4. So what are we going to create? Let's see that. So on the page load, on the top, we have the Bootstrap navigation bar. We have the logo on the left-hand side and the menu options on the right-hand side. Then you will see a large background which have an introduction, which gives you a chance to see the key points on the page. So left-hand side of the page, we have the logo and then the title, and under that we will have a section of lead text. And on the right hand side of the page, we have a sign up form, and then we have a arrow button that will take you to the rest of the content within the page. So this will be the initial state of the page when the user first visits. And if we scroll down, we have a social section here with all those social icons. So if I hover on it, you can see a hover effect. Then we have who we are section, like about us section. We have a button underneath this, which can be linked to another page or section. And on the right hand side, we have an image explaining what the business does. Then we have the latest work section, which is a great way to showcase what the business does or showcase on products. And if I hover on the image, it has a nice effect with an eye on it. So you could link this through another page or another section of the page if you want. And each image have some text which can be used to introduce or provide additional information for the work. Then we have a section called Why Work With Us, which has an icon, some title, and some information text. For icons, I have used Font Awesome. Then we have a customer testimonial sections. I have used scrolling carousel for this. So if I click on this, it will scroll. Then we have a pricing section. Then we have a contact form, which is a static form. And then finally, we have the footer section. Then if we shrink the page down, we can see that the whole page is responsive. It works on all the devices. So all the sections are resized. We have also added the animation. So if I refresh the page, you can see that some of the elements are fading in, some are fading from the side, some are fading from top. So this is the project which we are going to create from scratch. So let's get started and I'll see you in the next lecture. In this lecture, we will see what is Bootstrap. Bootstrap helps to build responsive mobile-first projects on the web with the world's most popular front-end component library. Bootstrap is open source toolkit for developing HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this is the official website of Bootstrap, which is getbootstrap.com. This is the website where you can get all the official documentation regarding Bootstrap. As you can see, the current version as of now is 4.5.0. Let's check the documentation section. It contains all the important information which you can refer back when you want to learn about new elements or components. It starts with introduction to Bootstrap, and this includes all the information you need to get started. Then on the left hand side, it provides all the sections such as component. This is the most popular section as it contains all the different elements which you can use within Bootstrap. This will help you to build your pages. Bootstrap also provides some quick examples. So there are ready templates to practice things out after you have completed the course. So you can put your new ideas into your own pages and test out what you have learned throughout the lectures. So this was just a quick overview of the Bootstrap site. So just bookmark this website so you can quickly refer back in future if you need. So that's it for this lecture, and I will see you in the next video. Welcome back to another video. The most important part of Bootstrap is grid system. It is very important to create while creating the layout of web page in Bootstrap. Grid system lets you to create layout in the web page, that is dividing your web page into multiple boxes such as header, navigation, content, and footer. Bootstrap grid system is used to create page layout. It is a series of container rows and columns. The page contains a container or container fluid. The container contains a set of rows. Each row contains exactly 12 columns. You can create a box, that means a div tag inside the row, and you can decide exactly how many column width it has to occupy. It must at least occupy one column width and maximum of 12 columns. A box can occupy one column, two columns, three columns, four columns, five columns, six columns, seven columns, eight columns, nine columns, 10 columns, 11 columns, or 12 columns. For example, you have created a box that occupies 6 columns in a row. Beside that, you can place another box that occupies the remaining 6 columns. So we call it as 6 plus 6. Like this, you can create any combination of boxes that makes a sum of up to 12 columns. For example, 8 plus 4 or 4 plus 8 and so on. You can place nested grid, that means you can create a row inside the column. So again, you will get 12 columns inside it. The number of columns inside a row will be always 12. We can't change it. If any end user columns are left, the space will be left empty as it is in the output. If the number of columns of a box exceed the limit of available columns for that particular row, the box jumps to the next row automatically. The size of each column is equal to the total width of row divided by 12. By default, Bootstrap maintains some default margin and padding to make the content look good. So let's write some code to make it more clear. So I'll go to my Visual Studio Code. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, and here I'll give a class name as container fluid. So inside this container fluid, we must place a row. So I'll remove the style. I don't require this. So inside this container, we will add a row. So div class equals to row. So now you will get 12 column inside this row. So inside this row, we need to create first column. So I'll create the first column, div class equals to call -1, and here I'll write call1, and I'll give some background color. So style equals to background, and the color will be blue. So I'll give some different colors. Okay. So I'll copy this column and I'll paste it 11 times. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there are total 12 columns. I'll change the colors. Okay. Let's give red. I'm giving some random colors. Okay. Green, yellow, pink, light pink. orange, orange, red. So this is column 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let's save this file and let's go to the browser. So here you can see there are 12 columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'll give some height for this. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code, and here we need to give a height which is equal to 200 pixel. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it on all the rows, all the columns. And let's save this file and let's go to the browser. So it will display something like this. So now let's create another row that has 4 boxes. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, and here I'll create one more div with a class row, and it will have 4 boxes. Okay, so div, and here I'll write class equals to call 3, because we need 4 boxes, so each box will have 3 columns. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it 3 times. So we have 4 boxes, 3, 6, 9, and 12. Okay, so the total number is 12. And let me give some style. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me write call so you'll get an idea. Call 1, call 2, call 3, and call 4. Let's save this. So call 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the output will look something like this. So let me go to the Visual Studio Code, and instead of 3, if I write here 4, so now the total number is 3, 6, 9, and instead of 12 it will be 13. So if I save this and if I go to the browser, so you can see the last box automatically comes down. So it moves to the next line. So you must take care about the sum of 12. So let's go back and put it back as 3, and if you can see the output, now it is correct. So the total should be 12. So now we'll take one more row, and let me just copy, paste it here, and instead of 3 we will put 6 by 6. Okay, so 6 and 6, 12. So if I save this and if I go to the browser, you can see call 1 and call 2 both are equally divided by 6. In the same way, you can do different combinations. Okay, if I go copy this, if I paste here, so you can uh, put it as 8 by 4. If I save this, 8 by 4, so this is 8 and this is 4. So you can try it out with different kind of combination, which will help you to understand more about this. So like this, you can create any number of boxes depending upon the 12 columns rules. So we have understood the basic of grid system in the Bootstrap. In the further lesson, we will take it to the next level. So till then, take care and bye bye. I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another video. In order to target your web page to multiple devices and make the content automatically fit for any resolution, you can do that by using responsive grid system in Bootstrap. One of the main highlights of Bootstrap is responsiveness. The responsive grid system of Bootstrap makes the content of web page automatically fit for any resolution from the largest to the smallest. You can specify exactly how many columns should be occupied by the box with respective to each type of device individually. For example, you can specify the box should occupy 3 columns only in extra large device, not on other devices. Do you know based on which factor you can divide the devices into different types? It is not based on branding, cost of device, or physical screen size of the device. It is only based on width of screen resolution. Based on the screen width, we can divide the devices into 5 types: extra large device, large devices, medium device, small device, and extra large device. Whenever the screen width is greater than or equal to 1200 pixels, we can call it as extra large device. Whenever the screen width is greater than or equal to 992 pixels and less than or equal to 1199 pixels, we can call it as large device. Whenever the screen width is greater than or equal to 768 pixels and is less than or equal to 991 pixels, we can call it as medium device. Whenever the screen width is greater than or equal to 576 pixels and less than or equal to 757 pixels, we can call it as small device. Whenever the screen width is less than 576 pixels, we can call it as extra small device. For extra large device, we can specify the number of column with the class name as col hyphen xl hyphen and then the number of columns. For large device, we can specify the number of column with the class name col hyphen lg hyphen and then the number of columns. For medium device, we can specify the number of columns with the class name col hyphen md hyphen and then the number of columns. For small device, we can specify the number of columns with the class name col hyphen sm hyphen and then the number of columns. For extra small device, we can specify col hyphen and then the number of columns. XL stands for extra large, LG stands for large, MD stands for medium, SM stands for small, and for extra small device, there is no any attribution by default. Call refers to extra small device. So now let's suppose we have 4 boxes, that is 4 div tag in our web page. Assume that you want to display first 4 boxes side by side. So out of total 12 columns, each box can get 3 columns. Of course, you can share number of columns unequally if you want to. It just depends upon the requirement or content. If you want to share equally, you can give call hyphen xl hyphen 3 for each box. In the large device, assume that you want to display first 3 boxes side by side and the last box display on the next line. So you will give call hyphen lg4 for the first 3 boxes and you will give call hyphen lg hyphen 12 for the last box. In case of medium device, assume that you want first 2 boxes to be displayed side by side and the last 2 boxes display on the next line. So you will give call hyphen md hyphen 6 for the first 2 boxes and you will give call hyphen md hyphen 6 for the remaining 2 boxes as well. In the case of small device, assume that you want first 2 boxes display side by side and the last 2 boxes display line by line. So you will give call hyphen sm hyphen 6 for the first 2 boxes and you will give call hyphen sm hyphen 12 for the remaining 2 boxes. In case of extra small device, assume that you want to display all 4 boxes line by line. So you will give call hyphen 12 for all the 4 boxes. Finally, this is the way you can give class name to all the div accordingly. Now let's see the example by writing some code. So let's go to Visual Studio Code. So I'll go to Visual Studio Code and here I'll remove the unwanted div rows which we don't require. And here we need only 4 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and I'll remove the remaining div. So for extra large, we will give class as call xl hyphen 3 for all the 4 boxes. So let me copy this class name and let's and paste it here on all the 4 divs, and I'll save this and then we can go in the browser to check. So let me refresh this. So this is it how it will look for the extra large device. And in case of large device, so let's go to Visual Studio Code, and for large device we will give the class name as call hyphen lg4 for the first three divs. So let me copy this class, paste it here, and for the last one we will give as call lg12. Let's save this. Let's check in the browser. So currently it is for extra large device. So let us minimize the browser with. So now it is for large device. So it will look something like this in large device. Now in case of medium device, each div has to occupy 6 columns. So the class name will be call hyphen md hyphen 6. So this is for medium device. Let me save this and let's go to browser and let's minimize the browser. This is the medium device. We need the first two box on the top and the remaining two boxes below that. Now in case of small device, the first two box should occupy the sixth column and the remaining two should be on different lines. So for that we need to write call hyphen sm hyphen 6 call hyphen sm hyphen 6, and for remaining two we will write call hyphen sm hyphen 12 because this two we want it on a separate line. Let me save this and let's go to the browser and let's minimize. So this is for the small device. The first two boxes will be in one line and side by side, and remaining two will be at the bottom one by one. Now for extra small device, for each box the class will be call hyphen 12. For each div we need to write the same class, so call hyphen 12, and here I forgot to write sm, so sm hyphen 12. Okay, so let me save this and let's go to the browser, and we need to minimize the browser. Not minimize, we need to shrink the browser so that this is the small device. So in small device, in extra small device, it will look something like this. So now let's check it again. So in extra large there will be 4 boxes. In large device there will be 3 boxes side by side and one at the on the next line. Then in medium device there will be 2 boxes side by side and the 2 boxes below that. And in small device we need 2 boxes side by side, and then the remaining 2 boxes will be one below the other, and in the small device all the boxes will be one below the other. So this is how responsiveness grid system works in Bootstrap. So this is it for this lecture, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Welcome back to another lecture. One of the best things about Bootstrap is the fact that you can use media queries into your CSS files. This helps you to target styling for specific devices. So if you click on documentation and if you click on layout, and if I scroll a little down, so here you can see media queries. So these breakpoints are important. This helps you to decide which device you want to style. So in the first section of the code, we have the media queries for all the breakpoints except the extra small devices, and this uses the min width. And if we scroll down a little, we can see all breakpoints except for extra large devices, and this uses max width. So if you are designing for mobile first, then we use min width, and if you are designing for desktop, then we use max width. So to get a better idea, let's say an example. I have written some styles. This is the test class and the properties are font size 1 rem and the color is green. This is the global style. So let's check in the browser. So this is the global style. Font size is 1 rem and the color is green. So if I go to Visual Studio Code, so here I have written a media query where the font size is 2 rem and the color is red. So as we are using max width, it means that this style will be added to the devices that have a maximum width of 768 pixels or anything under 768 pixels or under the medium devices. So basically only small devices will have this styles. So let's check in the browser. If I shrink this down, and now when we hit the medium device, we will see the changes. So in the larger screen, the font size is 1 rem and the color is green, and in the small devices, the font size is 2 rem and the color is red. So the content is same, but the styling is different due to the media query. So let's go to Visual Studio Code and switch this to min. Instead of max, I have used min. So it is basically reversed. Let me save this file. So the global style will be anything under 768 pixels, and anything with a minimum width of 768 pixel or above will have new styling applied. So let's check in the browser. So if I minimize this or if I shrink this, now the color is green and the font size is 1 rem. And if I go back to the larger screen, the font size is 2 rem and the color is red. So it is basically reversed. So now for the medium device or small device, the style is different, and for the larger device, the style is different. So it is opposite of what we have done before. So mostly I use max width. So if I want to use a different styling for mobile or medium device, I use max width. I don't use min width. So if I save this, so for larger screen, we have a global style, and for smaller screen, we can use this media query. So in the smaller screen, you will see a different style. So this is the best way of using media query. So this was a basic introduction to media query. You will get better understanding as we go through the course. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Welcome back to another lecture. In this lecture, we are going to create our file structure. So for that, I will create a folder on my desktop with the name bootstrap LP, means bootstrap landing page. And inside this folder, I will create two folders. One is for images, so I'll give a name images, and the second one will be for CSS, so I'll give a name CSS. And in this images folder, we need to add images, so you will get all the images in resources tab. And if I go back, and in CSS folder, we will create a file which is styles.css, but we will not create here right now. We will create in Visual Studio Code. So I'll go to Visual Studio Code and open this folder. So if you don't have Visual Studio Code, then you need to go to Google and search for Visual Studio Code. And this is the first link which you'll get. So if you are using Mac, so you can download and install it. And if you are using Windows, so you can just download and install it. So once you install, then you need to open it. And here we need to go to open, and we need to select the folder. So I'll select the folder bootstrap LP, and inside CSS folder, we need to create a new file with the name styles.css. And in bootstrap folder, we need to create a file index.html. For that, we need to click here, and we need to click on this to create a new file with the name index.html and press enter. So once this is done, we need to go to getbootstrap.com, and here in the documentation, we will get a starter template. So here we need to copy this, and we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and here we need to paste it, and we need to connect this styles.css. So here we need to write link rel equals to style sheet, and href equals to css. We need to give the path name. We need to save this file. So to run this file or open this file in the browser, I am using an extension called open in browser. So I'm using this extension. So you need to install this extension. I have already installed it. So I'll close this. And once you install this extension, once you right click on this index.html file, it will say open in default browser. So you need to click on this. So it will open this file in the browser. We have successfully added the code and you can see hello world is printed out. So in the next lecture, we will add font awesome. So this is it for this lecture and I'll see you in the next lecture. Welcome to another lecture. In this video, we will see how to download font awesome icon. Font awesome icons are scalable vector icons that can be customized easily through CSS. They can be styled the same as you style your text. So we will use font awesome icons on our web page. So to download font awesome icon, we need to Google and search for font awesome, and I'm using version 4.7. So I'll click on this, and as you can see, fontawesome.com/version 4.7.0. So we need to click on get started, and here we need to select no thanks, I just stick with font awesome 4. So we need to come down a little, and here we need to click on download. So again we need to click on this, so it will start downloading the files. So I'll open this folder and I'll copy this font awesome, and I'll go to my desktop where I have created the folder bootstrap LP, and I'll paste it here, and I'll rename this to font awesome. This is the only version 4.7, so we can remove that. So once we have added this folder in bootstrap LP, then we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and in index.html we need to link the CSS file. So link rel equals to style sheet. So here I forgot to write T. Okay, style sheet href equals to, we need to select the folder of font awesome, then CSS and fontawesome.min.css. Here we need to close this and we need to save this file. We have successfully downloaded the font awesome files and we have successfully linked to our web page. So this is it for this video and I'll see you in the next video. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you the resources file. So I've uploaded all the images on my website. So let's go to my website, which is nstinfotech.com. And here you need to click on tutorials, and this is the link bootstrap 4. You need to click on bootstrap 4, and these are two images folder, so you need to click on images 1 and then images 2. Okay, so this will download the folder zip file and you need to unzip it. Okay, so in this file you will get all the images, and in images 2 you will get the banner for the home page. Okay, so these are the two folders you need to download from my website. Okay, and you can use it. This video is very short. I just wanted to show you the path where I've saved the images, where I've uploaded the images, so you can download it from here. Okay, so this is it for this video and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video we will add navbar to our page. So for that we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and inside index.html, and in the body tag we need to add the nav tag. So I'll remove this h1 tag, we don't require. Here I will add nav tag, and we need to add a class called navbar, and we need to add another class which is navbar hyphen expand hyphen lg. This basically tells the browser when to collapse the navbar or to expand it. If we want to expand when we hit the medium device screen, then we just need to change the LG to MD, or for small screen, we need to change to SM. Then we need to close this nav tag. Now we need the navbar to be fixed on top of the screen. For that, we need a class which is called fixed hyphen top. Now inside this nav tag, we need to add navigation options. For that, we need to add a div tag with a class which is equal to collapse. This basically informs the browser that this div and all its content will be collapsible elements. Then we need to add a class navbar hyphen collapse. Next, we need an ID. This will connect to our toggle button that we need to add. So the ID name should be unique. So I will give the ID name as my nav. Now I'll close this div tag. Now we need to add our navigation options. We will do it with UL, which is unordered list tag. So I will add UL tag, and inside UL tag I will add a class which is equal to navbar hyphen nav, and I'll close this UL tag. These are all default Bootstrap classes that provides relevant padding and position that requires. Now within this UL tag, we can add a navigation option. For that, we need to add a li tag. So I will add li tag, and inside li tag, I will give a class nav hyphen item, and I will close this li tag. Now we need to add nav link. So we need to add a tag. So inside li, we will take a tag and with a class equals to nav hyphen link. And here we need to give href, which is equal to hash. And I'll close this a tag, and inside this a tag, our first link is followers. So I'll give follow us, and I'll save this, and let's check in the browser. So if I refresh this, you can see our first link has been printed out. Now we need to go to Visual Studio Code and we need to add the remaining links. So we have 7 different navigation options on final page that we will be creating. The first one is follow us. So I will give the name as social. So here I'll give social, and then I'll copy this li tag and I'll paste it. And the second one is who. So I'll change the title and the hashtag link. This we will connect with the ID later on when I'll create the section. So right now, just give the name accordingly. Okay. Then again, we need to copy this and paste it here. And the third one is work. So here also I will change it to work. Let's paste it. The fourth one is why. And the next one is customer. Then we have pricing. And the final one is contact. So contact. Let's save this and let's check in the browser and let's refresh this. So we are getting all the links here. So now if I shrink this page and when we hit the medium device, this navigation disappears because we have not included our toggle button. So let's add a toggle button. So let's go to Visual Studio Code. So above the div tag here, we need to add a button tag with a class which is equal to navbar hyphen toggler. The type is equal to button, and we need a data toggle attribute. So I'll write data toggle which is equal to collapse, and we need a data target attribute which is equal to the ID which we have given here, my nav. So I'll write hash my nav, and I'll close this button tag, and inside the button tag we will add the icon to toggle. Okay, so for that we need to give a span and with a class which is equal to navbar hyphen toggler hyphen icon, and we need to close this span tag. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. If I refresh this, right now also you won't see anything because here there is nothing. If I write button and I save this, once you refresh this, you can see a button. Once we add the background, you will see an icon. Okay, so right now you won't see anything, but in the future lecture when I'll add the background, so you can see that. So let me increase the size and I'll remove this. Okay, let me save this. So now we need to add a logo on the left hand side. For that we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and after this button tag we need to add an a tag with a class which is equal to navbar brand, and here we need to give href equals to hash, and we need to close this a tag, and inside this a tag we will write image tag src will be equal to the path for that image. Okay, so we need to select this folder image, and I have added all the images which are required. So you will get all the images in resource tab. So just download and paste it in image folder. So I'll select logo hyphen small dot png, and here I'll give alt tag sk technology, and here I'll give a class which is equal to img fluid. This class means the image will be resized and optimized in all devices. This saves our time to create different size of images for different devices. So let's close this image tag and let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. Let me refresh this. So you can see we have successfully added the logo on our web page. Now we need this logo to be on the left hand side and this navigation menus on the right hand side. This can be easily achieved with a class which is ml-auto. So that we need to add in UL. So here we need to add ml-auto. Let me save this and let's refresh this. So now you can see the logo is on the left hand side and the menu options are on the right hand side. ML stands for margin left, so that once you give ml-auto, so it automatically fills the margin from the left hand side of our navigation, which will effectively shift our navigation to the right hand side. So if you want to see more about this, so here you can go and search for ML auto. So you will get all the things in utility. So if I scroll down, you can see a lot of examples here. So you will be able to understand. Here it is. So right now, suppose if we have a div, okay, and this is the second one, and here is the flex item, and after that there are two more divs. So if I put mr auto here, so it automatically fills the right space and the remaining two items will be shifted on the right side. And similarly, if you see here, there are three items in this div. And if on the last item, if I give margin left auto, so here in this div, we have given margin left auto. So the above two items will be shifted on the left hand side and this will remain on the right side. So you can just go through this example, margin right auto and margin left auto. So you will have an idea about it. So this is it for this video and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we are going to style our navigation bar. If we go to our final page, the main thing we can see is that our background is slightly transparent and we are using different font. And we have this thin border at the bottom that separates the navigation from the other content. Let's try to achieve this. First thing we will do is we will add the transparency, and we can do that by accessing the navbar class that we have added in our index file. So let's go to Visual Studio Code and let's go to index.html. So this is the navbar class which we need to access. So let's copy this and here I will paste it and let's open the curly braces. Inside this we will add a property called background color, and here we need to add the color values. So for that we need to write RGBA, and here we need to add color values, which in our case is 21, 31, 33, and here we need to add the opacity or transparency, which is 0.5. You can increase or decrease, so it's up to you how much transparency you want or how much opacity you want. So I'll save this, and if I go to the browser and if I refresh this page, you can see the transparency has been added. Now we will add the border at the bottom like this. Okay, so let's go to the style.css, and here we need to add border hyphen bottom equals to 1 pixel solid, and the color will be DE. Okay, let's save this and let's go to the browser. If I refresh this, here you won't be able to see the color because the background is white and the color is too light, so it will not be, we will not be able to see. But if you can see here, there is a border. Okay, so once I'll add the background image, then you will able to see that. Now we will change the color of this navigation, which does not look good right now. So for that we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and if we go to index.html, so these are the nav link which we need to color. So this nav link is inside navbar hyphen nav. So this is how we can access. So here I'll write navbar hyphen nav and then a space dot nav hyphen link, and we need to open the curly braces, and here we need to give color property which is D1. Let me save this and let's go to the browser, and if I refresh this, now you can see the color has been changed. Now we need the hover effect. So for that we just need to copy this class, paste it, and here I will add hover, and this we need to change it to white, which is FFF. Okay, let me save this and refresh. So now you can see if we hover it, you can see a white color. Now we need to change the font style. We are using Roboto, which is a Google font. So for that we need to go to fonts.google.com. And as you can see, this is the first font which you will able to see. If you don't find it here, then you can search it for Roboto. Then you need to click on this and you need to select the style which you want. So I need this light 300. I need this style. So I'll select this. Then I need 400. Then I need 700, which is bold. Then to use this font, we need to click on embed and we need to just copy this link and we need to go to index.html and at the top here we need to paste it. Let's save this file and again we need to go to this website and we need to copy this, and here we need to go to style.css and at the top we will add a body and we'll paste this property so that all the elements should get this font family. And one more thing, we have kept this title, so I will remove this title and I'll give it SK Technologies. So we have successfully added the font and changed the font. Let's see in the browser. Let's save this. So as you can see, the font has been changed and now it is Roboto. So one more thing we need to do is if I shrink this, here we need to see an icon. So let me put it back and then I'll need to add one class which is navbar hyphen dark. Let me save this and if I go to the browser and refresh it and if I shrink this, now you can see we are able to see the icon, and if I click it will toggle. As I told you in the earlier lectures, I will add this background and you will be able to see this icon. So this is the class which we need to add. So we have successfully added the transparency for the navigation and we have changed the font and we have even changed the color for the toggle button. So this is it for this video and I'll see you in the next video where we will work on the header section. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video we will work on the header section. So let's check the final page. We have a background image like this with two separate sections that contains our intro text, logo, and the other section contains the sign up form. So let's try to achieve this. So for that we need to go to Visual Studio Code and in index.html page after nav tag I will give a comment. So to give a comment we need to give a greater than sign, exclamation and hyphen hyphen or dash dash, and inside this comment I will write header and I'll copy this and I'll paste it. Header ends. So this is HTML comment. So the reason to add this comment is that it helps us to identify that this is header section, because once we start adding other sections then the code will be quite long. So to easily find a particular section we will add comments. So let's say this is header section, so I've added a comment header, and if it is a followers section, so then we will add a comment as followers. Okay, so it is important to add comments, it is very helpful. And inside this we will add a tag which is section with an id which is equal to header. and we need to close this section tag. And inside this, we will add a div with a class which is equal to container. And need to close this div tag, and inside this, we will add a row. So this is a row class, and inside this row, we know that our content is divided into two sections. The first section contains the logo and the intro text, and the other section contains the form. So these are equally divided. We can split it into half. So the first bit of content can take up 6 columns, and the second can take up the remaining 6 columns. So in this div, which is inside the row, we can take a class which is call -md -6, and we need to close this div tag. So this will be one div, and the other div will also have call md -6. So the total should be 12. So first we will complete this section. Press enter, and inside this we need a logo like this. Okay. So for that I will write image tag src, and in this I'll take the path images and the logo.png, and I'll add alt tag which is equal to sk technology, and I will add a class which is equal to image img-fluid, and I will close this image tag. And after that I will take a p tag, and I'll add some dummy text. So this is the dummy text which I'll add. If you want this kind of text, so you just need to go to Google and search for lorem ipsum, and this is the dummy text generator. So here you need to click, and you can copy this dummy text. Okay, let's go to our code, and here we need to copy paste. Okay, to format this text I have used option shift F. If you are a Windows user, you need to press Control Shift F, and I'm using an extension called Prettier. This format the text. Okay, so there are different kind of, you can use Prettier now. This is also very nice. You can use this, and once you install this, then you need to press option shift F if you're a Mac user, and if you're a Windows user, command Control Shift F. Let's save this. And one more thing which I wanted to tell you is, like, we were using open in browser to open the page. Okay, so I have found something else which is much better, live server. Okay, so if you install this, what happens is that, let me close this. Once you install this, it will ask you to go live. Here you will get an option go live, and if you click on it, it will go live like this. Okay, so once you make any change and if you save, it automatically saves. You don't have to refresh the page. So this is much better. So I will not use this. I will use this. Okay, so let me close this lorem ipsum, because I'll copy the dummy text from here. If you need, you can use that. I have added this dummy text. Now we need one more p tag, so I'll copy this dummy text. Okay, here also we need some title, so let me finish this p tag, option shift F. Okay, and before this p tag I will take h2 tag, and inside this h2 tag I will write this. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it. So let's save this, and if you check in the browser, so here you can see logo, the title, and two p tags. Okay, now we'll style this, but before that we will finish this form tag. So let's go to the code, and here after this column we need to add one more column which is having a class which is equal to call -md -6, because these two divs are equally divided. So in this we will add a form tag. So I'll add a form tag, and if you go to their official website getbootstrap.com, Here if you search for form, let's go in component, and here if you go to forms, so here are all the examples for the forms. You can just refer, this is just for your reference. Let's code it. Okay, so here inside this form tag I will take field set with a class which is equal to form group. I'll close this field tag, field set, and inside I'll take label with a class which is equal to sr hyphen only. This means that this label is only useful for screen readers. And here I'll add the label. And after the label tag, we will have an input which is type equals to text, because this is for name. So if it is an email, so we need to write type equals to email. And if it is a number or phone number, then we need to write input type equals to number. So there are different types. So you can just check the form in Get Bootstrap website. Okay, so here we need to add a class form hyphen control to add the bootstrap styling to our input field, and then we need to add placeholder which is equal to name. Need to close this. Let's save this and let's go to the browser, and if I refresh this, here you can see this name input has come. Okay, let's copy this and copy this field set and paste it, because we need it for email. So we need to change all this. Email type is email, placeholder is email. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. See your email. Okay, so we can't see the label. Okay, if I remove this class and if I go to the browser, then you can see the label. So this is only for the screen reader, and normally it will be hidden. So right now you can see it is hidden. Now below this we need a button. So for that we need to go to a Visual Studio Code, and here we need to add button, and class is equal to btn which adds default styling, and then we need to add btn hyphen outline hyphen info. This will add only the outline to the button, which is a new feature in Bootstrap 4 which was not there in Bootstrap 3. Then we need to add a class btn hyphen block. This will stretch the button to fill the element which is placed within automatically. Now we need to close this button tag, and inside the button tag we will write sign up. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and let's refresh it. So here is the button we have added. So we have placed all the elements here. Now we need to add this arrow. Okay, so let's go to Visual Studio Code, and we need to add one more row after this row. So what we can do is we can close this row, and after this row we will add one more with a class row, and close this, and inside we will take a div with a class which is equal to call. This class helps to take up all the 12 columns on all the screen size. So need to close this tag, and here we need to add the font awesome icon. So for that we need to go to Google and search for font awesome, and I'm using version 4.7.0. So we'll go here and we will click on this icon and all icons, and here we need to type chevron down. Okay, so this is the icon which we want to use. So we need to just copy this whole thing and go to the code, and we need to paste it here. So if I save this and if I go to the browser, so here you can see the icon has been added, but we need a size which is bigger than this. As you can see, this is the size. For size, you need to go to example and need to click on examples. So as you can see, if you want a larger icon, so here is the class for that. fa-lg will give you this much of size. fa-2x will give you this much of size. 3x will give you this. 4x will give you this, and 5x will give you this. So we will add 3x. So here after this, we need to add this fa hyphen 3x, and let's okay. So here is the icon. Now we need this in the center. So for that we need to add a class in column. So text hyphen center. So this makes the arrow in the center. So in this section we have completed all the, we have placed all the elements, but in the next lecture I'll style all of this with a background image. We will add this background. Okay. So okay, one thing we have forgot, we need to add this p tag. Okay, so in the form, let me open this row, and here I will add a p tag, and inside p tag I will take some dummy text which I can copy it from here and I'll paste it. Let's save this, and if I go to the browser, so here we go, we have added a dummy text. So in the next lecture I will complete this whole section. This is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this lecture we will continue to work on styling the header section. If we look at this, we need to add a background here. So for that we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and we need to go to style.css. And first I will add a comment. To add a comment in style sheet, we need to write slash star and then header, and again star slash, and here from here we can write the CSS for our header section. So if you remember, we have given an ID in header section. So here is the ID header, so we can access this in our CSS style sheet.css. So let's copy this, and if I go here, and here we need to put hash and the ID name. For ID we need to give hash and then the ID name. For class we need to give dot and the class name. So here we need to open the curly braces, and first we need to give background. So background, which will be equal to URL, and inside the URL we will give the path name of image. So right now we are in CSS folder. To get one step out of it, we need to add dot dot slash, and then we need to go to image folder, and in image folder we have a background with the name star hyphen bg. The second property will be background hyphen size equals to cover, and the third one is height, which is equal to 100%. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So as you can see, the image is displayed and it is filled over the container, but it is not filled over the page. But before we fix this issue, we will change the color of this font. So for that we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and here I'll add the color property, which is equal to FFF for white. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. Now you can see we have added the color here, white color. Now we need to fix this background, which should cover the full page. This is basically because the body also needs the parent element for it to scale correctly. So here in style.css, in the body we need to add HTML, and here we need to set the height property as 100%. And let's save this. This will solve our issue. So let's go to the browser, and now if you can see, this image covers the entire section when the page is initially loaded. So now you can, as you can see, the content is moving on the top. Right now you can see it is in the middle, but in our case it is on the top. So we need to add two more classes. So let's go to style.css, and in the header we need to add display flex and align items center. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. As you can see, now our content is in the middle. There is a padding issue between the logo and the text. So for that we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and here I'll take the ID and I'll write header, and I'll access image tag. So let's go to index.html. We have access header, and inside this header ID, anything which is having image tag will take this property. Okay, so here I'll add padding, which is 0 0. This is top, right, and from bottom we need 20 pixels, and from left 0. top right, bottom left. Okay, and we need to adjust the width also, which is equal to 80%. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. Let's refresh. Here we don't need comma. Let's save this. So now you can see there is a space in between the image and the title. And for this text, which doesn't look that great, we need to add a class in the p tag, which is called lead. Class equals to lead. And let's save this. And if I go to the browser, now you can see the text is bigger and the line height is also increased. As you can see here, it is bigger and the line height is also increased. You can add the lead class for this as well, but I'll leave it. Okay, it's up to you. If you want to add, you can, otherwise leave it. Now we need to add a background for the sign up form. So for that, I'll go to Visual Studio Code and I will add a class inside this column with a name header hyphen right. The reason to add this class is that we can target this specific section individually in our index file. Let's save this file and let's copy this class name. We need to add the background only for this section. So I added a class here, and here I will write dot and I'll paste the class name. As this is a class, we need to add a dot. If it is an ID, then we need to add a hash before the name. And the properties are background equals to RGBA, and then we need to give the color values. I will give black color. To give black color, we need 0, 0, 0, and opacity will be 0.5. Then the second property will be padding. Padding, I need 30 pixels from all the sides. And then border radius. Border radius will be 10 px. Let me save this file and let's go to the browser and check. So as you can see, we have added the background for this sign up form, and now this arrow is really close to this form. We need some space in between. So for that, I'll go to Visual Studio Code, and to access this font awesome icon, what we need to do is, okay, first let me go to Visual Studio Code, and in index.html file, this is the font awesome icon. To access, what I will do is I will not directly write fa.fa and I'll give some padding. What I'll do is I'll access it through header ID. So I'll copy this header ID, which is on the top, and then I will access this fa font awesome class, and I'll give margin from top 5% and from left right 0. Top and bottom will be 5%. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. Now you can see there is a margin in between. There's a good space in between both. Now I will add a hover effect on this. So what we can do is I'll go to the Visual Studio Code and I'll copy this code, paste it here, and here I'll add a tag, and here I'll add a class, a property, which is having a value of hash fff white color. Okay, and then we need a hover for this, so I'll add a hover for this, and the color I'll change it to CCC, which is a grayish color. Okay, so let's save this and let's go to the browser and check, refresh this. Okay, we need to add an a tag, so which I have not done. So a href, and here we need to give the ID which we have given for social. So social, and I'll close this a tag and I'll cut this, and here I'll paste it. Okay, let me save this and let's go to the browser. Okay, so now you can see if I hover on it, it is giving me a grayish color. And once you click on this, it will go to the social section, which we have not created, but we will create. And then one thing I forgot is that here in navigation, all these menu items are uppercase, and in our case it is lowercase. Okay, so we need to change that. So let's go to style.css. Here we need to write text transform uppercase. Okay, and let's save this and let's go to the browser. So as you can see, all the text size all the font style is uppercase. Okay, now if I shrink this down, so as you can see, this logo is touching up and this is not center line, but in our case here, if you can see, everything is center aligned. Okay, so what we can do is we can add a media query and then we can make this center line. Okay, so for that we need to add a media query. So on the top here I will give @media and max width, which will be 768 px, and I'll open the brackets. Max width means anything which is equal to 768 or less than that will apply this style. Okay, here I'll give the ID, header ID. Here I'll give text align center. Let me save this and let's go to the browser and check, refresh this. If I shrink this page, now everything is center line, but still this is touching on top. So for logo we can increase, let me copy this and paste it here, and let's remove this, and this we can decrease the size by 70%. So let me refresh and let's shrink this. Let's inspect. Okay, we are not able to apply this. So what I can do is I'll give here important, so it will override. Now if I refresh, now the 70% is applied and I close this. Still we can decrease the size by 20% because it is too big. Now this font, this is also too big, so we can change this. So let me make it bigger, and this font size is too big, so instead of h2 I will use h3 tag. Okay, let's save this. So now you can see h3 tag is much better. Now everything is fitting within this box. If you want to hide this text in mobile devices or medium devices, okay, if you want to hide this text, so what you can do is here you can add a class which is equal to d none, means display none. Okay, and there's one more class d hyphen md hyphen block. Okay, so d nuns mean it will not be seen in all the devices, but in medium devices it will be display block. Medium devices and above that means from 768 to the higher version it will be display block. So in the higher version you will able to see this p tag, but once you hit 768 this will be gone. Okay, and if I make it small you will not be able to see that p tag. So these are all default bootstrap classes which are really helpful. So you can just try it out if you want to hide some paragraph in mobile version and you want to show it on only desktop version. So this is the class for that. So we have successfully completed this section, and in the next section we will work on followers, the social section. Okay, here it is. So in the next lecture we will work on this. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video we are going to create followers section. So if I go to the final page, so this is the followers section which we need to create. So to create this we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and after header tag, after this header section I will write a comment follow us. And I'll give a tag section with an ID which is equal to social. And I'll close this section tag. And inside I'll take a div with a class container. And inside this div, I will take one more div with a class which is equal to row. So once again, this section is split into two. So if you can see here, this section is split into two. Each bit of content occupies 6 columns across the row. So we need to create two divs with call md6. So I'll create first div with a class call -md-6, and inside I'll take h2 tag and I'll write followers. And after this, I'll take a p tag and I'll add some dummy text. And in between, we need a border. Okay, so here for this border, we will take HR tag. HR is horizontal row, and inside this, I'll write align left, and I'll take a width property which will have a width of 50%, and I'll close this HR tag. Let me save this, and if we check in the browser, so here as you can see, follow us, and we have an horizontal line, a separator, and then some dummy text. This follow us should be capitalized, so I will write follow us. Okay, let's save this and let's go to the browser. So right now we have finished this. Now we will add our icons as we have in the final page. We need to add it here. So for that, I will take one more div here and with a class which is equal to call md6, and we need to take ul tag, and inside ul I will take li, and inside the ul tag I will add a class which is equal to list hyphen inline, and in li tag I will add a class which is equal to list hyphen inline item, and inside this li we will add our font awesome icon. So for that we need to go to font awesome website. So I'll go to font awesome. I'm using version 4, so let's go to this link, and here in the icon I will click on all icons and I'll search for Facebook. So we need this one, so I'll click on this and I'll copy this, and we need to paste it here. And if I save this and if I go to the browser, so here as you can see, our Facebook icon has been displayed. Now we need to add all these icons. So for that we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and I'll copy this li and I'll paste it. Okay, before that we need to wrap this into an a tag. So a href equals to hash. Here you can give your social link if you have a Facebook page, so then you can give a link of your Facebook page. So now we can copy this li and I'll paste it. So how many icons do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So Facebook, for Facebook we have wrote Facebook, and rest of the things I know, so I'll write it Twitter. If you want, you can just search it here. Okay, but I know the name, so I'll directly write it here. I'll write Instagram, and then we have Pinterest -p. Then we have Google Plus, and then we have RSS. Let me save this and let's go to the browser. So here as you can see, we have added all the icons, and now we need to style this section. Okay, so that I'll do in the next video. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we are going to style this follower section. For that, we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and first I will go to styles.css. After this header, I'll give a comment as social or followers. So I'll write followers, and now I'll access the ID which is social, and I'll give some padding. So padding from top and bottom will be 4.25 rem, and from left right we need 0. I'll save this, and if we go to the browser and check, so from top and bottom we got a padding, and from left right we got 0 padding. Now I'll style this social icons. So to grab the FA class, I'll write id social and dot fa. Okay, now we are able to access this class. So here I'll give some styling. So we need to add some property font size, which is equal to 1.5 em, and then color, which is going to be 4e b5 c9. You can change the color according to your theme if you want. If you have some other color branding, so you can change it. Border, I'll give 1 pixel solid, and I'll give the same color 4e b5 c9. And after the border, I'll give some width, which is equal to 60 pixels. Height, again same 60 pixels. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So here you can see we are getting all this, but we are getting a square, so we need a radius. So let's go there, and we need to give a radius. So border radius, which is equal to 30%. Okay, let me save this and let's go to, okay, now we are getting a radius. Now this icon should be in the center. So for that, so let me do one thing. Let me make it side by side, so you will have an idea of what I'm writing. Okay, so now we need this icon, to be in the center. Okay, so here I'll write display flex. The other property will be justify content center. Then align items center. Let me save this. So now as you can see, this icons are in the center of this box. Now I'll give a transition effect. So for that, I'll write transition all. We need to give the transition to all the elements, and timing will be 0.4 seconds, and the effect will be is in out. Okay, let's save this. Now we need to give a hover effect. So for that, I'll write hash social dot fa, and I'll write hover. Here we need to give background. So the background is the same color which we are giving here. So I'll write hash paste. Let's save this and let's check it. So as you can see, we are getting a background color, but we need to add this color property. So the icon should be white in color. So if I hover on this, right now you can see we are getting an hover effect, but we are getting an underline. So to remove that underline, I will give social a and hover. In a tag, I will take a property text decoration none. Okay, let me save this and let's refresh it. So now you can see once I hover this, there is no underline. Okay, now I'll make it bigger. Okay, so let me click here. So now as you can see, we are getting the hover effect and we are getting the icons exactly like this. So instead of 1 pixel, I'll take the border as 2 pixels. So the border should be 2 pixels. Save this. And so now the border is 2 pixels. So it is looking much better. Now if I shrink this for a mobile device, as you can see, this is left align. We need things to be in the center line. So for that, I'll go to Visual Studio Code and we need to use media query. So here I'll grab this social ID and I'll type text align center. Okay, let's save this. Now we can check. So now everything is center. Now here the horizontal line is on the left side. So here we need to write social HR and we need to give margin from top and bottom we need 8% and from left right we will give auto, so it will be center line. So now if you can see, this horizontal line is in the center and everything is in the center and there is a space, there's a margin from top and bottom. So if I make it bigger, so this is it how it looks in desktop version. So in desktop version it will look something like this, and if we shrink to mobile version it will look something like this. So so we have successfully styled the follower section. So this is it for this video and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we are going to create our Who section. If we look our final page, we can see this section is again split into two sections. Each bit of content taking 6 columns each. Code structure is almost same as we did it for follower section. So you can pause this video and try it on your own. I hope you were able to complete this section, but if not, then no worries, I am going to do it right now. So let's go to index.html page, and here after this section, follower section, so let me give a comment here, and then we need to give a comment for who section. So who, and let's copy this and paste it here, who ends, and here I'll give section tag with an ID which is equal to who, and I'll close this section tag, and inside we will take a div with a class container, and inside we will take a div with a class which is equal to row, and we need two columns. So first we will take a div with a class call -md-6, and inside this we need to write a title with h2 tag. So I'll copy this and I'll give h2 tag, and inside this I'll paste this, and then we need an horizontal line. So as we did it for follower section, same thing we need to do it here. Align equals to left and width which is equal to 50%, and let's close this, and then I'll take a p tag and I'll paste this code. So p tag and I'll paste it, and to format option shift F. Okay, and here I will take a class which is equal to lead as we did it for this section. Okay, so now I'll take one more p tag and I'll paste this content there. So p tag and paste it here, option shift F. Okay, let's save this and let's check in the browser. So as you can see, we have given a title, a horizontal line, and some uh, content with inside a p tag. And then we need to add a button. So this is custom button. Okay. So here after p tag, I will write button, and the class which I'll give is btn, and I will not give bootstrap class for this. I'll give button hyphen who, so that we can customize this button. Okay. And inside I'll write find out mode, as we have given here find out mode. Okay. So let me save this and let's go to the browser and check. So right now you can see there is no styling, that we will add it because this is a custom button. I'll show you how to give styling for custom button. Okay. And then we need a image on the right hand side. So this is the image we need to give. So again we need to add one more div with a column with a class called hyphen md hyphen 6, and here inside we'll take image tag src, which is equal to the path is image hyphen what image. Okay. And then class is equal to image img fluid, and we need an alt tag which is equal to who are we, who we are, sorry. And I'll close this tag, save this, and I'll check it in the browser. So as you can see, we have finally added the image as well. So these are all the elements which are required for who we are section. So in the next video, I'm going to style this section. I'll give a background. I'll style this button. Okay. So if you can see here, we have a background color. We need to style this button. So that I'll do in the next video. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this lecture, we are going to style this who we are section. Okay. The first thing I'll do is I will give a padding for this section, and then I'll add a background. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, and we need to go to styles.css, and after followers I'll give a comment who. Now to access the ID, we need to write hash, and the name of the ID which we gave is who. So here if you can check, this is the ID which we have given. So here I'm going to use this. Okay. Now first I'll give padding. So padding, which will be 5 rem from top and bottom, and 0 from left and right. And then I'll give a background color. So that will be hash f6 f6 f6. Okay. Now let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So as you can see, we got this background color and we got a padding. The only thing is remaining is we need to style this button. So for that, I need to go to Visual Studio Code, and I'll access the button style by writing the ID, and we have given a class which is btn under a hyphen who. So here is the class which we have given button hyphen who. Okay. This is the way to access this class. Okay. So now I'll write the properties background, which will be equal to 4e b5c9. Okay. And the color of the text will be white. So FFF, and then the width will be 50%. Let me save this and let's go to the browser and check. So here, as you can see, we have given the styling for button, but we need a hover effect, something like this. So for that, I'll go to Visual Studio Code. I'll copy this class, and here I will write hover so that we can give hover effect. So background will be transparent, and we need a border which is 1 pixel solid, and the color will be 4e b5c9. We need the text color, which should be same 4 E B5C9. Let's save this and let's check in the browser. So as you can see, if I hover on this button, you get an effect. The BG is transparent and the text color is the color which we have given here. Okay. Now if we shrink this page, so as you can see, it is left aligned. So we need everything should be in the right align. Sorry, we need everything should be in the center align. So as you can see here, all these are in center align and there is a space in between this. So let's change the media query styling. So here I will write hash who, the ID name, HR, not the HR, we will write image tag because we need spacing between the image. Okay, so margin top will be 15%. Okay, we save this and let's go to the browser. So as you can see, here we got an margin top 15%. Now we need to make this in center. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it and here I'll write who. Now this title is in the center and now we need this HR to be in the center. So here we already have a class. What I'm going to do is I'll add a comma and I'll put that ID who and HR. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. As you can see, this we have added the styling as per our design. So if I go here, so as you can see this, so this is also exactly the same. So this is how we have completed this who section. So this is it for this video and I'll see you in the next lecture. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we are going to create our latest work section. If we look at our final page design, so we have 4 projects in each row with an image and some description. And if I hover on the image, you will see a nice effect with an eye that indicates the user to click for some more information. So we need to create this section. So let's go to Visual Studio Code and here in index.html, after the who section, we need to add a comment as work and we need to add a comment who work ends. Okay, and here we need to give a tag section with a class which is equal to, sorry, with an ID which is equal to work, and close this section tag, and inside this we will take a div with a class which is equal to container, and inside we will take one div with a class which is equal to row, and inside this row we will take a div with a class which is equal to call. This will fill the entire row, and inside this we will take h2 tag for the title which is our latest work, and then we need a p tag for this text, and in between we need an hr tag, so hr align equals to left, and width we can take 50% or 30%, whatever you feel like you can take it. I'll take 30% and I'll save this and let's go to the browser and check. So we have got this section, the title, HR, horizontal line and some description. Now we will add this projects. Okay, so let's go to Visual Studio Code and we will take one more row. So I'll take div class which is equal to row, and inside this row we need 4 columns because there are 4 projects. Okay, so in medium device we wanted to show 4 projects, but in small device we wanted to show only 2 projects. So we need to add 2 classes. So for medium device we will add call md3 So 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 3, 9, and 9 plus 3, 12. Okay. And for medium device, call hyphen sm hyphen 6, 6 plus 6, 12. Okay. And inside this, we will use cards. Okay. So if I go to Bootstrap website and if I type card, so here are the different options of card which we can use. So I'll be using this option. So there are a lot of other options. You can just go through it for your reference. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this instead of writing all this. I'm just going to copy this code and here I will paste it. And this style we don't require, so I'll remove this. And inside this, I will add one more class, which is image img fluid. And the source, I will add images slash building. And alt tag also, I will add building. So let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So we have added this first image. Similarly, we need to add three more cards. So I will copy this div and paste it three eyes to three times. Save this. And as you can see, we have added three more images. Now we need to change the name of the image. So for that, I'll come here in the Visual Studio Code, and the second image which we are going to use is fair, and alt tag will be fair. Sorry, here it will be fair, and third image will be city. Fourth image will be rose. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So these are the four images which we have added. Now we need four more images. So here we can copy this entire row and I'll paste it below this. And if I save this, if I go to the browser, you can see we have added four more images. And then we need to change the name. So name of the images. So we'll change the name. The first one is skate. Second one is track. Third one is golden gate. And the fourth one is girl field. Okay, let's save this. Now you can see all these images have been added, but in the alt tag I have not given the correct name. So skate, track, golden gate, and girl field. Save this and let's go to the browser. So we have successfully added all the elements which are required for this our latest work. In the next lecture, we are going to style the remaining thing. Okay, and one more thing which we need to add is this overlay. So we will add that div as well. So let's open this row and here we will wrap this image tag with a div. Inside this, we will add a class which is work hyphen img. We need to close this div tag. We need to cut this and once we need to add this here. Okay, and then we need to add a tag in the image. So I will add a tag href which is equal to hash, and I'll close this a tag. So need to cut this a tag and I'll paste it here. Okay, So there was a small mistake, so I have rectified it. So option shift F, okay, to format the code. Now after this image, we need to add a div for overlay. So div class equals to img overlay, and we need to close this div tag. So similarly, we need to add this div with a tag and this image overlay div tag on all this card images. So I will do it and you also do it in the rest of the images. So I'll see you in the next video where we will style this section, our latest work section. Okay. So this is it for this video and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we are going to complete the styling for this project section. As we can see in this final page, we will add the overlay effect and we will add some spacing to our projects. So as you can see, all these cards are really stick to each other. So we need to give some margin and we need to give some padding for this section. So let's go to style.css, and after this who section, we need to add a comment for work. And here I will access the ID which we have given, which is work, and I'll give padding, which is 5 rem from top and bottom, and from left and right 0. Okay, let's save this, and here we got this padding. And for this card, we need to add a global style. So let's go at the top, and here we will add a global style for cards. So I need to write dot card, and I'll give margin bottom 15 pixels. Okay, let's save this and let's go to the browser. Now you can see we have given the margin 15 pixels, so there is a space in between both this row. Now we will add the overlay effect. Okay, so for that, in stylesheet.css, we need to write the id work and the class which we have created, work hyphen image and image hyphen overlay. Just need to check the spellings. So work hyphen image, and the second class is image hyphen overlay. Okay, img hyphen overlay. So now we will add some position. So position will be absolute, and the other property will be top 0, and from left we need 0. Okay, let's save this, and we need a background. So background, I'll keep RGBA, and the value will be black color. So 0, 0, and opacity will be 0.5. Okay, let's save this and let's go to the browser and refresh this. So we need to add some more properties. Okay, so width will be 100% and height will be 100%, and we need to add one more class, work dot work hyphen image, and for this the position will be relative. And let's save this and let's go to the browser. So now we can see the overlay on the image, and now we need to give the eye icon on this image. So let's give that. So here I'll write background, which is equal to URL, and we need to give the path. We need to write dot dot slash images, and the images I dot png, and then we need to write, so here we need to give background hyphen image, and then we need to give background repeat, no repeat, and then background position, sorry, background position will be center. Okay, let's save this And let's go to the browser and check. So here we got the eye image in the center of the image. Now we need to give the opacity as 0. So opacity will be 0 and z index will be 0. Now we need to give a hover effect on this. So let's copy this class and add hover. And here we need to give the opacity as 1 and z index will be 1 as well. Let's save this and let's go to the browser, and if you can see, if I hover on it, it shows that eye icon, but the transition is not so smooth. So for that we need to add a transition effect. So here I'll write transition all to give transition to all the elements, and 0.3 seconds, and the effect is ease in out. Okay, save this and let's go to the browser. Now if I hover on this, you can see we are getting a nice effect. So we have successfully completed this section. Only one thing is remaining. We need to make this center line. So you can do it. It is very simple. So if I go to the title, here we can add a class text center. Let's save this, and this we need to remove. So now everything is in the center. And if I shrink this page, so in the medium device, there will be 4 projects, but once I hit the small device, there will be 2 projects. Okay, that's why we have written the class call -sm-6. Okay, and in the extra small device, there will be 1 images, only 1 project. So this is it. We have completed this section, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we are going to work on Y section. So to work on this, let's go on Visual Studio Code, and we need to go on index.html file, and after this work section we will add a comment. So here we need to add a comment as Y, and then we need to copy this and paste it here, and here we will write ends. So this will start and end. Okay, so now again we need to take section tag with an ID which is equal to Y, and I'll close this tag, and inside I'll take a div with a class which is equal to container. And then we need to take a div with a class which is equal to row. Now we need this title along with this HR tag and some text here. So for that I'll take a div with a class which is equal to call, and here I'll take h2 tag and I'll copy this line and I'll paste it here. And after this I'll take an HR tag. We need this horizontal line to be in the center, so I'll not write a line left. Here I will only give the width which is equal to 30%. If you want to increase the width, you can. I'll take 30%. Then I'll add a p tag and I'll copy this text and I'll paste it here. And let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So if I refresh and if I scroll down, here you can see this section is added. And let's go to Visual Studio Code, and then we need to add this section. Okay, so this is divided into 3 parts. Okay, so 12 divided by 3, which comes to 4. So we need to take call md4, call md4, and call md4. Okay, so we need 3 columns. So 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So we will take one more row. After this row we will take one more row, and then we will take a div with a class which is equal to call md hyphen 4. Okay, then we need this icon. So I'll go to Font Awesome website and I'll search for this icon. So in the icons I will search for thumbs up. So I need this icon. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. And we need a bigger size. So here I'll give a class fa-3x. Let me save this and let's go to the browser. And as you can see, we got an icon here. Now we need this title. So after this icon, I will add h3 tag and I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. And then I'll take a p tag and I'll copy this text and I'll paste it here. And Option Shift F to format the code. Okay. And let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So if you can see, we got this section and now we need similar two boxes. Okay, same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this column and paste it twice. And now we need different icons. So and different text. So the icon will be line chart. So I'll search for line chart. So this is the only icon for line chart. We'll copy this and I'll replace this icon with line chart. And then we need one more icon, which is award. So let me search that award. We need this icon. So I'll copy this icon and I'll replace it with this. Let's save this and we need to change this title. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it here and I'll paste it here. Let me save this and let's go to the browser and check. So we got all the three sections, but here I need to give the size fa-3x. Okay, here also fa-3x. Save this, and now we have got this three sections, three boxes. Now we need everything to be in the center. So for that we need to go to container, and here I need to add a class text-center. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. Now you can see everything is center aligned, and now we need to style this. We need a background, we need these colors. Okay, so we have placed all the elements. The styling part we will do in the next lecture. So I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video we will complete our y section. For that we need to go to our styles.css, and here I will add a comment y. And first I will add the background for our section. For that I will need to access the ID. So for that I will write hash and the ID is y. And first let me give the padding. So padding is 5 rem from top and bottom and 0 from left and right. And then we will add a background which is f6 f6 f6. Okay, so let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So we have added the background. Now we will work on the font. So as you can see in the final page, our font color is different from what we have now, and we should have a padding here. So let's go to styles.css, and then to access the FA class, we need to write the ID hash y and then dot FA class. Okay, and inside this we will add a color. So the color for our branding is 4E B5C9. And then we will add some padding. So padding will be 15 pixels from top and bottom and 0 from left and right. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So here it is. We have successfully added the color and some padding for these icons. So this is how we have completed this section. If I shrink this page, so in the medium and in the small device, it will look proper because we have kept all the things center aligned, so we don't need to write media query. So if I scroll down, so as you can see, this section is looking good. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we are going to create this section for customers. So this is basically a customer testimonial section. So to work on this, we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and inside index.html, here after Y section, we will add a comment as customers. And I'll copy this comment and I'll paste it here and I'll write ends. So it will start from here and ends here, okay? In between, we need to write the code. So first we will take the section tag with an ID which is equal to customer. And then we need to close this section tag. Then we need to take a div with a class which is equal to container, and we need to close this tag. Then we need to take a div with a class which is equal to row. Then we need to close this div tag. Then we need to take a div with a class which is equal to call that takes up the entire row. We need to close the div and press enter. Then we need to take h2 tag, and inside this we will take the title. So I'll copy this customers and I'll paste it here. Then we need a horizontal line. So for that I will take HR tag and I'll set the width equals to 30%. And I'll close this tag. Okay. Then I'll take a p tag, and inside the p tag we need this line. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it in between this p tag. And let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So we are getting this customer title, horizontal line, and a dummy text. Okay. Now we need everything to be in the center. So as we did for this section, we will add a class for this section as well. So I will add a class text-center. This will make the content in the center. So let's go back to browser and check. So here it is, we are getting all the content in the center. Now let's work on this part, okay? So this is the carousel. To work on this part or to achieve this section, we need to go to Bootstrap official website, and here we need to go in the components, and in the documentation tab we need to go to components, and we need to click on carousel. And here are the different example of carousel, so you can just have a look. There are different types of carousel. So the one which we required is this one. So this is the one which has everything which is required for our project. So instead of writing all this, I'll just copy this code and I'll get back to my Visual Studio Code. And here we need to take one more row, div with a class row, and close this div tag. So I'll paste the code which I have copied. And here we need to change the ID. So I'll change the ID to codes. Then we don't require this previous and next button. So I'll remove this. Then we don't require this section, okay? Instead of this, we will require codes, okay? So for that, we need to go to Bootstrap website, and inside the content, we need to click on typography, and we need to scroll down. Once you scroll down, you will find this block codes, okay? So we need this in our project. So what I'll do is I'll copy this and I'll go back to Visual Studio Code. Let me check again. This is the code which we required. So I'll just copy this and I'll go to Visual Studio Code, and we need to remove this image and this div, and we need to paste a black code. Similarly, we need to remove this image and we need to paste a block code. Here also we need to remove and we need to paste a block code. Okay. And then we need to, inside this div, we need to take one div with a class which is equal to row. And I need to close this div, cut this closing div, and I need to paste it here. Similarly, we need to copy this, and here we need to paste, cut this div tag and paste it here. Again, on the third one, we need to cut, paste, we need to cut this closing div tag and paste it here. Now we need to format, so Option Shift F. Okay, this will format our code. So now here there is only one block code, so we need three. So I'll just copy this, paste it, paste it. Here also we need three. I'll just paste this, and here also we need three. Okay. If I save this and if I go to the browser and let's check in the website. So here are the three block codes which are visible. Now we need these three things to be side by side. For that we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and here in the first block code we need to add a class which is call -md -4, because we need three columns. So call -md -4. Okay, so here also in the second black code I will add this, in the third one also I add this. So 4 plus 4 8, 8 plus 4 12. Okay, so the total should be 12, and in the second row we need to add this call -md -4. So I'll add this, and in the third section also we need the same. So here we need to paste it, here we need to paste it, and here we need to paste it. Let's save this and let's go back to the page. And as you can see, the carousel is also working and our codes are side by side, as you can see here. Okay, so this buttons are in blue color, whereas in our case it is white. So that we will do in the styling section, which is our next lecture. But before that, I will add one more class which is for this border. Okay, so for that I'll come back here, and in the second black code we will add a class border -left that will help us to add a border on the left side. So here I need to paste it. In the first black code we don't require, in the second and third we required. Okay, similarly we need to add here on the second one and in the third one, and on the first we have missed this, so here I will add border left. Save it and let's go to the browser and check. So here it is, we have successfully added the border. Now we will do some styling in our next lecture. We will add some padding, we will make this buttons blue. Okay, so this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video we are going to style this section. So all the elements are being added. Now we will add some padding for this section, and we need to style the carousel indicators. So for that we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and we need to go to styles.css, and here we need to add the comment which is customers, and here I will access the ID which is customers, and I'll give a padding which is 5 rem from top and bottom and 0 from the left and right. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. So as you can see, we have added the padding and it looks much better. Now we need to add the styling for carousel indicators. For that, we need to go to index.html, and here we need to access this li. So first we will access this id, then this class, and then the li. So I'll go to style.css, and first we need to access the id, then the class which is carousel indicators. So let's copy this, paste it here, and then the li. And here I will add some margin. We don't need to add a margin to li, but we need to add a background color. So background, which is our theme color. So 4EB5C9. Sorry, 4EB5C9. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. So as you can see, indicators in blue color, but the styling is not that great. So let's, because they are inside this carousel, so we need to give some margin. So let's go to Visual Studio Code and we need to access carousel inner class. So the carousel inner class is here. So we need to access this. So we can first access the ID, which is customer. Then we need to access this class carousel inner. Let's copy this, paste it here, and now I will give a margin from bottom. So bottom equals to 50 pixels. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So as you can see, we have got some margin, but still some styling is remaining. So we will finish that. And now we will add the margin to the actual indicator. So what we can do is we'll copy this and we'll paste it, and I'll remove this li, we don't require it, and this background I'll remove this property background, and here I will add the margin hyphen bottom, which is equal to minus 50 pixels. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. So right now you can see we have added the margin and there is a good space. If you want, you can minimize the space by making it 30 pixels. So it is as per your need. If you want little, if you want more space, then you can increase the value here. Okay, so we have styled this carousel indicators. So the size of this indicator is not as per our design. So if you can see here, our style is very sleek, and here it is too much of padding. So what we can do is we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and in this class we will add a property called border 0 pixels, and we need to save this and we need to go to browser. Right now you can see our style is matching to the final page styling. So we have successfully completed this section, and this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video we are going to create pricing section. For this we need to go to Visual Studio Code and we need to go to index.html, and after the customer section we need to add a comment, and here we need to write pricing, and I'll copy this comment and paste it here, and yeah, and here I will write ends, and in between we will write our code. So first I'll take section tag with a ID which is equal to pricing. Need to close this tag, and I'll take a div inside this with a class which is equal to container, and then we will take a div with a class which is equal to row, and then again we will take a div with a class which is equal to col, which takes the entire row. And here we need to write h2 tag. Inside we will add our title which is pricing. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it here, and then we need horizontal line. For that we need to write hr tag, and width will be 30%. Need to close this tag, and then we will add a p tag. So I'll copy this line and I'll paste it here, and I'll add a class which is equal to lead. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So as you can see, we have added this section with title, horizontal line, and the subtitle. Let's go to Visual Studio Code and make this entire section in center. So for that we need to add here the class which is text center. Let's save this and let's go to the browser, and here it is. Our section is now in the center. Now we need to add this. For this we will use card. So we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and I'll take one more row. So your div with a class which is equal to row, and inside this I will take a div with a class call hyphen md hyphen 4 because here we need 3 columns. So 4 plus 4, 8 plus 4, 12. So 12 divided by 3, which is 4. Now here we need to, inside this, we will take one div with a class which is equal to card. And inside this div, we will take a div with a class which is equal to card hyphen header. And we need to close this tag, div tag, and our header is basic. And then after this, we will take an UL tag, which is unordered list with a class which is equal to list hyphen group. And then we need to take one more class, list hyphen group hyphen flush, that flushes out the margin from left, right, top, bottom. Okay. Now we need to close this UL tag, and inside we will take li tag with a class which is equal to list group hyphen item. And inside this li tag, I will write the content which is two profiles. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. And this number 2 we need to be bold. So for that I will use a strong tag. I'll cut this and I'll paste it here. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and check what are we getting. So we have successfully added the card. Now we will add the remaining content like this. So for that we need to go to Visual Studio Code and I'll copy this. And how many li we need to take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need 7 more li, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we need to change this text. So I'll just copy this. Okay, let me write it manually. Month, and here you can take dollar or whatever currency you want. You can take that. This is storage, and this is 10 GB. This content you can modify according to your landing page. 10 GB bandwidth, 1 FTP account. Then we have website integration. Then we have basic customization and then email support. Email support. Let me save this and let's go to the browser and check. So we have added for this basic plan. Now we need to add for standard and pro plan. Okay, so what we can do is, okay, we need to add button also. So first we will add the button, the sign up button. For that we need, after the UL tag, we will take one div with a class which is equal to card hyphen body. And we need to close this div tag, and inside we will take a button. So for that we need to write button, type will be button, and class which is equal to btn, and the second class will be btn hyphen outline info, and then btn hyphen block. Need to close this button tag, and inside we will write sign up. Let me save this and let's go to the browser and check. So we have successfully added a button as well. Now we will add two more cards. So for that we need to copy this column and paste it twice. Okay, let me save this, and if I go to the browser, as you can see, this is a basic plan, this will be standard, and this will be pro. So we need to change the text. So standard and this is pro. Let's save this. So as you can see, we have added the text. So I'm not changing the content. You can If you want, you can just change the content according to your requirement, but this is how we can add the content and the sign up button. So we have placed all the element for this section. Now in the next lecture, we will style this content. We will give some padding for this section, and we will give some background color for this title, and we need some spacing as well. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we are going to style this section according to our final page. So all the elements are being placed, and now we need to do only the styling part. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, and in styles.css, we need to add a comment as pricing. And here we need to give the padding for this section. So I'll access the ID, which is pricing. And here we need to give padding from top and bottom 5 rem and from left right 0. And we need to give a background, which is F6, F6, F6. Okay, let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So we got this gray color background. So now it is looking good. And alternative gray color background we have given for the for sections. Okay, one is gray, one is white, one is gray. Okay, so now now we need to change the background color for this headers. So in order to access this card header class, let's go to Visual Studio Code. And if I go to index.html, this is the card header class. So to access this, first we need to access the ID, which is pricing. Then we will access the card class, and then we will access the card header class. So let's go to style.css, and first we will access the ID. Then we will access the class card. Then we will access the class card header. Let me check the spelling. Card hyphen header. And then we need to open the curly braces. And here I will give the background color as E6, E6, E6. And the colors of the font should be white. So color FFF. Let me save this and let's go to the browser and check. Let's refresh this. So the background color is 6E, 6E, 6E. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. So now the background color for header has been updated. Now we need to change the middle card header style. For this, I will add additional class for only this header. So let's go to index.html, and here is the standard header. So here I will add additional class, which is standard. And now to access this class, we will first access the ID, which is pricing. Then we will access the card class, and then we will access the standard class. And here I will give a background for EB5C9. Then I will increase the font size to 1.5 em. Then I'll increase the padding by 15 pixels from top and bottom and 0 from left and right. So let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So here it is. This looks much better and this is standout. Now I will give an hover effect on these two cards. So for that, I will access the ID, which is pricing, then card, then card header, and I'll write hover. And we need to copy this background color and I'll paste it. And if you can hover this, you can see the color has been changed. Now we need to add the transition effect as it is here. So here in the main class, I will add a transition for all the elements, and timing will be 0.2 seconds, and the effect is in out. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So if I hover on this header, you can see the color is being changing. Now if I minimize this or shrink down to mobile device, you can see all our card is looking much better and the pricing section has been completed. So this is it for this section. We have completed the pricing. In the next lecture, we will complete the contact us section, which is this. So I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we will create contact us section. So for that, we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and here I will add a comment, contact us. Okay, and then we need to add a section tag. Okay, first I'll just copy this and I'll paste it, and here I will write ends. Then in between we will write the code. So section with an ID which is equal to contact. Let's close this tag, and inside we will take a div with a class which is equal to container, and then we will take a class div with a class row, and then div with a class which is equal to call. That takes the entire row. Close this, and then h2 tag, and in h2 tag we will write contact us. Okay, and then we will take a p tag and we will copy this line, and in between we need horizontal line, so hr tag, and width will be 30%, so 30%, and let's close this tag. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So as you can see, we got the title, this horizontal line, and the subtitle, and this we need to be in center. So for that we will add text hyphen center. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. So as you can see, the title and the subtitle and the HR horizontal line are in the center. Now after this row, we will take one other row, but before that we will take a form tag, and inside this we will take a row div class equals to row, and inside the row we need to take two divs of call md6 and call md6, because as you can see here, this section is divided into two. This is call md6 and this is call md6. So few of the fields will come on the left side and the remaining will come on the right side. So we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and here I will add a class which is equal to call hyphen md hyphen 6. Okay, 6 columns, and inside this I will take field set. Okay, field set equals to class field set class equals to form hyphen group, and we need to close this, and inside this we will take input type which will be email, and we need a class which is equal to form hyphen control, and the other class will be form hyphen control hyphen sn. If you want if you want the input size to be big, you need to take form control lg, but I need small one, so form control sn. Then we need id, so id equals to email, and placeholder which will be email. Then I'll close this input tag. Okay, so let's save this and let's check in the browser. If I go here, so we got this input field email. Now we will add name and subject. Okay, so I'll copy this, paste it here, paste it here. Now type will be text because we need it for name, so id will be name, placeholder will be name, and we need to close it, close the input tag. So that is done. Here type is text, ID is subject, and placeholder will be again subjects. Okay, let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So we got all the three input fields. Now on the right side, we need a message and submit button. So here I will add one more column, the class, which is equal to call hyphen md hyphen 6. And again, we need the field set. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it. But instead of input, we will take text area. Okay, so I'll remove this. Here I will add text area and the type, which is text. Class we required form hyphen control and form hyphen control hyphen sm. ID equals to message and placeholder will be message. Okay, let's close this text area. So now it is closed. Now we need a button. So button type will be submit. Class is required. So btn hyphen outline info. Okay, and btn hyphen block. Now we need to close this button tag and we need to write submit. Let me save this and let's go to the browser. So as you can see, all these fields have been added. Now we need some height here for message text area. So I will add a row which is equal to 3. Okay, let's save this and let's refresh. Okay, rows. Okay, not row. So now the height is equal. Okay, and now we need some spacing for this section. So I need to go to style sheet and here I'll add a comment as contact and close this comment, and here I will access the ID. So our ID is contact and I'll give the padding which is equal to 5 rem and from top and bottom and 0 from left and right. Let me save this and let's refresh. So as you can see, the padding has been added. So we have successfully completed this section. So this is it for this video and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we are going to create footer section. So for that, we need to go to Visual Studio Code and we need to go to index.html, and after the contact section, we need to add a comment as footer, and I'll copy this comment and I'll paste it here, and inside this we will take section tag with an ID which is equal to footer, and I'll close this section tag and I'll take a div with a class which is equal to container, and I'll close this div. Then I will take a div with a class which is equal to row, and inside this we will take two columns. Okay, so this section is divided into two sections. First one is divided into 8 columns and the second is divided in 4 columns. Okay, so for that we need to give a div with a class which is equal to call hyphen md hyphen 8, and in small device I need the column to be divided into 6 columns. So call hyphen sm hyphen 6, and inside this I will take h3 tag and I'll write about SK technology. So let me copy this and I'll paste it here, and then I'll take a p tag and I'll copy this text and I'll paste it here. To format, you need to press Option Shift F. Then I will take another p tag and I'll paste this line, some more text. Let me save this, and if I go to the browser and check our web page, So here is the section which is added. Now we will add this icons. So in the above section on the top, we have this icons. So we need the same here. So what I'll do is I'll go on follow section, and this is the UL which I need. So I'll copy entire UL and I'll go to footer section, and after this p tag I'll paste it here, and I'll save this and I go to the browser, and if I refresh you can see all the icons have been added. Now we will work on the right section. So for that we need to add another column. So after this column we need to take one more div with a class which is equal to call hyphen md hyphen 4, and for small devices we need call hyphen sm hyphen 6. Then we will take h3 tag and I'll say hello, and then we will take ul tag, and inside ul tag we will add li tag, and inside the li I will take this icon. For icon we need to go to font awesome, and here we need to search for map. So I'll search for map, and this is the icon which we need. So I'll copy this icon and I'll paste it here. And before that I will take a p tag because this needs to be wrapped in p tag. So p tag, and after the icon I will take this text which is address. So I'll write address, which is equal to, and I'll take this text. Let me save this and let's go to the browser and check how it looks. So you can see we are getting this icon and the text, but we don't want this. To remove this bullet point we need to add a class in the UL as class equals to list hyphen unstyled, and then we need to add a strong tag for the icon and the address. So I'll paste it here. Let's save this and let's format the text. Option Shift F to format the code. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. So as you can see, the bullet point has been removed by the class which we have added, and this part is bold and the remaining is normal. Then we need to add the email. So for that, I'll copy this li tag and I'll paste it here, and we need to change the icon. Before that I'll write email, and here the email is info at the rate some random email.com, and this should be in a tag. So a href equals to hash, and I'll cut this and I'll paste it here, and we need to change the icons. So for that I'll search the icon as email, and I need this one, or maybe you can take this. Let's take this one and I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. Let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. Then this is the phone, so we need to add the phone. So let's copy this li and paste it here, and here we need to change it to phone, and we need to add the phone number. So let me remove this, and let's add this phone number, and here we need to change the icon. So again, icon, all icons, and here I'll search for phone. So I'll take this icon. Feel free to take any icon you want as per your requirement. There are a lot of other options for phone, so you can just check it. I'll paste it, I'll save this, and let's go to the browser and check. So this is the phone which I have added. Now we will add this copyright section. So for that, I will add one more row after this row. So let me check where the row is ending. So let's close this, and we will add one more row with class which is equal to row. And then we will take a div with a class call which will take the entire row, and then we will add and copy, and we need to add this year. So 2020, let's copy this, and let's save this, and let's go to the browser and check. So this copyright text has been added. Now we need to style this section as per our final page, so that I will do in the next lecture. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we are going to style this footer section. For that, we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and in style.css, we need to add a comment footer, and we need to access the ID which is footer. And first, we need to give the padding. So I'll give the padding as 2 by the M and 0 from left and right. And I'll give the background color as 484848. Then I'll give the font color as FFF, means white. Let's save this, and let's go to the browser and check. So as you can see, we have added the background, we have added the padding, and we have changed the font color to white. Now we will change this color to white. Okay. For that, we need to go to Visual Studio Code, and here I will add the ID footer, and we need to access the A tag, and then here we need to give color which is equal to FF. Okay, save this, and let's go back. So now as you can see, this color has been changed to white, which is matching our style. Now as you can see, these fonts are very close to each other, so we need some space. So let's go to Visual Studio Code, and to access the font for some class, we will first access the ID which is footer, and then the font awesome class which is .fa, and then we will give a padding. From top bottom we will give 0, and from right and left we will give 5 pixels. Okay, let's save this, and let's go to the browser. So as you can see, we got a space in between all the icons. So now if I shrink this page, you can see this is left aligned, so we need everything to be in the center. So for that, I'll go and fix the media query. So here I'll access the ID which is footer, and the property is text align center. Let's save this and go to the browser, and here as you can see, everything is in center. So this is how we have completed the footer section. Now in the next lecture, we will add the animation to our page. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we are going to do the setup for animation. For that, we need to download two files. One is animate.css and the second is wow.js. So for that, we need to go to Google and search for animate CSS. And we need to search this github.com animate-css. Okay. And we need to click on this. And here we need to click on animate.css. And then we need to download the file. So to download the file, we need to click on code, and this is the download zip. Okay, so we need to click on this. Once you download this, we need to go to that zip file, and from that we need to extract the files. And if I open this file, I need animate.min.css. So I'm going to copy this, and we need to go to our folder. So my folder is bootstrap lp. In this CSS folder, I'll paste the file. Okay. Then we need to search for wow.js. So wow.js, and we need to click on this. So these are the animations. You can just have a look. To download the file, we need to go to their GitHub repo. Okay. So if I click on this, and here is the code, we need to download this zip file, and then we need to extract. And here we need the wow.min.js. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder and with the name JS, and I'll drag this file here. Okay, and then we don't require these two folders, so I'm going to delete all this. Let me close this. And now we need to go to index.html and add the link there. So if I click on how to use, so here it is. So we need to add this link for animate.css, and we need to uh, add this script to our index.js. Okay, link to CSS animation library and link and activate wow.js. So first I'll copy this link, and I'll go to Visual Studio Code, and in index.js I'll go at the top, and here I will paste it, and this is animate.min.css. Okay, and we need this JavaScript, so I'll copy this, and I'll paste it here. So this is the path js wow.min.js. Okay, let me save this. And now we have successfully added the links, and we have downloaded the files which are required. So in the next lecture, we are going to start animating our page. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to another lecture. In this video, we are going to animate our web page. So if I go to wow.js website, so these are the steps which we have done. Okay, we have added the links. Now to give an animation to a particular element, we need to add a class wow, and then we need to write the animation name. So if you want to see different kind of animation, you just need to click on this animate.css. If you click, you will go to this website, and here there are different type of animation. You just need to click and see what kind of animation you want. Okay, and you just need to copy this animation name, and you just need to paste it here after wow class. Okay, so there are advanced options also, like data wow duration, change the animation duration, data wow delay before the animation starts, data wow offset, distance to start the animation, data wow iteration, number of time the animation is repeated. Okay, so this is how we can add this advanced options. So now we will add animation to our web page. So for that we need to go to index.html, and first we will give animation to left side. Then we will give animation to the right side. So so this is the left side column, and this is the right side column. So here we need to add a class wow, and the animation which we required is fade in. Okay, and then we need to add data hyphen wow hyphen delay, which will be 1 second, and data hyphen wow hyphen duration will be 2 seconds. Okay, so let's save this and let's go to the browser. And if I refresh this, so once I refresh this page, so this animation is not working. So I went to their official website and I found that the version which we are using is the latest one, but we need 3.7.2. So what we need to do is we need to copy this link and we need to go to Visual Studio Code and in index.html we need to paste it here, okay? And we need to comment out this link. So I'll comment it out. So this animate.min.css is the latest one, but we need 3.7.2 version. So animate.min.css. Let's save this. And now let's go to the browser and let's check and let's refresh it. So now as you can see, the animation is working. Now this left side column is animated. Now we need to animate the right hand side. Okay, so let's go to Visual Studio Code, and if I scroll down, so this was the animation for left side. Okay, this was the left column. Now this is the right side column. Okay, so here we need to add wow, and we need to add class fade in and data wow hyphen delay, which is equal to 1.5 seconds. Okay, we need this block should appear after this one. So this will appear after 1 second and this should appear after 1.5 seconds. Okay, now data hyphen wow hyphen duration, which is equal to 2 seconds. Okay, this will be same. So let's save this and let's go to the browser and check. So if I refresh, so first the left hand side will appear and then this will appear after 1.5 seconds. So that is the reason why I have added 1.5 seconds. So 1 second and then 0.5 seconds, it will stay more, then this will appear. Okay, so now these two boxes are being animated. Now we need to animate this button, this arrow. Okay, so I need to add a class. Okay, so here, so where is my button? Okay, this is the button. So here where there is a row class, we need to add a class wow, and the effect is swing, and data wow delay will be 2 seconds. So let's save this and let's go to the browser and let's refresh this. So as you can see, once we refresh, this two things appears and then this arrow swings. Okay, so this is 1 second, 1.5 seconds, and 2 seconds. So we need to keep some delay for every animated element, so you'll know the effect. Okay, so now we will add an animation to followers section. For that we need to go to Visual Studio Code and we need the whole container to animate. Okay, from the bottom we need to add a class in the container. So wow fade in and data, sorry, fade in up, because we need to make the animation from the bottom. So data wow delay will be 0.5 seconds and duration will be data wow duration will be 1 second. Okay, so now let's save this and let's go to the browser. So as you can see, let me refresh. This appears, and once I scroll down, you can see it fades from the bottom and the effect looks very nice. Okay, so now we need to animate who we are. So for this we will animate in such a way that this left column will appear from left side and this right column will appear from the right side. So for that we need to go to in who section, and this is the first column and this is the second. So in first column we will add wow class, and then we will add a class. This will be fade in left, and data wow delay will be 0.5 seconds, and duration again will be 1.5, sorry, 1 second. Now we need the right one. So wow fade in right data wow delay will be 0.5 seconds, and data duration will be 1 second. Let me save this and let's go to the browser. If I refresh, so as you can see, if I refresh this page, so this column comes from the left side and this comes from the right side. So let me refresh again. Okay, so this looks good. Okay, now we need to we need to animate our latest work. Okay, so for that we need to go to work section, and here in the container I will add a class wow, and then fade in up. Okay, and so let's save this and let's go to the browser and refresh. So as you can see, it's fade from the bottom, and then we need to fade in all this project one by one. Okay, so for that we need to add the classes in all this cards. Okay, or you can add a class here. So this is all each column. So here I will add a class which is wow and fade in, and data delay wow delay, sorry, it is delay, which is 0.1 second. Okay, and we don't need the duration. So again we need to copy this and we need to paste it here, and this data wow delay will be 0.2 seconds. This is 0.1, this is 0.2. Let me show you the effect so you get an idea. If I refresh this, okay, so here we don't require this fade in up. Let me cancel this, and we need the effect on this column. Okay, let me save this and let's, so here as you can see, if I refresh, let me refresh again. So this title fades in from the bottom, and after that you can see this project fades. Okay, so we will complete the entire section. Let me copy this and we need to paste it here, and again data delay will be 0.3 seconds. If required we can add duration also, so let me check. Then data delay 0.4 seconds. In every column we need to add this, so let me add in every column, and then we will add the data delay attribute. So let's save this, and now we need to change the timing 0.4 seconds. After 0.4 we need 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8. Okay, let me save this, and now let's go to the browser and check. If I refresh, so as you can see, all these projects are okay. Let's see from the beginning. So here it is, one by one, as you can see. Now it is looking much better once you scroll the page little down. Okay, now this animation is done for latest work. Now we will animate why work with us. I will animate the entire div from the bottom. So it is very simple. Here in the container class, I will add wow, then fade in up. Okay, from the bottom I required, and data wow delay will be 0.5 seconds. Let's save this and let's go to the browser. So as you can see, if I refresh, so now as you can see, this animation is looking good, but it is overlapping this div. If I refresh, you can see this is coming from here, but it should come from here. The entire content should come from here and not from the white background. Okay, so we need to add a CSS property. So let's go to style.css. In Y section, sorry, Y, yeah, this is the Y. Here we need to add overflow property as hidden. So overflow as hidden. Okay, let's save this and let's go to the browser and let's refresh it. Now, as you can see, we are getting the content from this gray area and not from the white area. Okay, let me refresh. Okay, now it is looking much better. Now we need to animate the customer testimonial part. So again, I will add the same effect from the bottom. So let's go to index.html. You can try different kind of animation if you want. You can just go to their website and you can just check. There are a lot of animations. You can try it, whichever animation you find better. You can just go through that. So data hyphen wow delay will be 0.5 seconds. Okay, save this and yeah, we are getting this. Okay, so let's see from the beginning. Okay. Now this is looking good. Now we will animate the pricing section. So we will animate, we will give the effect as fade in. Okay, so let's for this column, and this column, but these two columns will appear first and then this will appear. So for that we need to go to Visual Studio Code and we need to check where is the pricing section. Okay, here is the pricing section. So first column is this. So we will add wow, then fade in, then data wow delay will be gain 0.5 seconds, and we need to just copy this. Okay, and here in the second one, the second column, we will add the delay will be like 1 second. Okay, so if I paste it here and we need to change this 1 second, and here again I'll add this class wow fade in, and then data wow delay will be 0.5 seconds. Okay, let's save this and let's go to the browser. So if I refresh, first this two box appears and then the middle one. Okay, so it looks good, and this is the standing out column. Okay, now we will add the animation for contact us. So now we will try something else. We will give contact us the effect which is called zoom in. So let's try that. So here in the container, I will add the class as wow, then zoom in. Okay, then we will add data wow delay for like 0.5 seconds. Save this and let's now, as you can see, it is zooming in. If I refresh, it is zooming in. So now there is the only last one remaining, the footer section. For footer section, we will again uh, fade this entire section from the bottom. So let's add that. Here is the footer container. So wow, fade in, and data wow delay will be like 0.5 seconds. And here we will add data hyphen wow duration. for like 1 second. Okay, why I'm adding the duration here, because these two sections are very there is no time, okay, to scroll. Like if I refresh, so like both this animation are coming in the same time, so we need some time to see the effect. So here I will do like 1 second, and here duration will be like 1.5 second. You can just play around with this. So contact us come. Once the contact us is animated, then we can see the footer. So let's try it. Let's see it from the beginning. Let me refresh. Now this two are animated, then this arrow is animated. Now this one follows who we are, our work, latest work, then who I work with us, customer testimonial, pricing, then contact, and then the footer. So you can just play around with the timings and all. You can just check which works much better. Okay, so we have added all the animation for our page, and this is it for this video. I hope you like everything which we have done for this project, and we have completed this project, and I hope you like it. And you need to practice. There's only one way you can learn things, that is practice. So just practice, make a similar kind of project and post it in the project section. So this is it for this course, and this is it for this video, and I'll see you in some other course. Till then, take care and bye bye.